Just sitting on your front porch, wondering how could I be so far.
What's going on, Vape Fam? Um, I am Dennis Anthony. I basically wanted to make this video because I wanted to talk a little bit about how I stopped smoking. Okay, so obviously I vape. I run an e-liquid manufacturing company, Plume Juice, and a distribution company where we sell, majority is 120 ml bottles. All of them are under $15. The website is vapecaviar.com or shopplumejuice.com. But I pretty much want to share my experiences as to how I stopped smoking and give some tips as to how I stopped smoking. Um, I smoked probably for 5, 6 years, and I was up to a pack and a half a day, which is a lot. I started smoking probably about 21 years old, and I stopped probably going to be. Actually, I started smoking at 20, and I stopped probably about 24, 25. And I actually got into vaping because the apartment complex that I lived in, outside of it to the right, there was a liquor store, Carl's Jr., and I noticed that there was a vape shop coming in. At the time, I didn't know exactly, what it was. This is back in 2014. I went in there, got some information, ended up getting a vape, and realized really quickly how much better, obviously, it tasted. And obviously, my family and everybody, my friends, coworkers, everyone was saying, they used to tell me, you smell horrible from the cigarette smoke. It would stay on my clothes. It was in my car, and I had a really big thing with every time I would get in the car to either go to work or go to the store or somewhere, I would light up a cigarette. I would get in the car, I would light up a cigarette, and I would smoke the whole way until I got to my destination or wherever it was that I was going. When I started to vape, what I did was I started with really high nicotine to start, like 12 milligrams at the time. You know, it was 12 milligrams, and I used that probably for about a week to 2 weeks, and then tapered down to 6 milligrams, and then went to 3 milligrams, and then eventually now I can smoke zero. I smoke vape 0 milligrams. Now sometimes I do use 3 milligrams when I do feel like an urge for nicotine, but vaping is what really helped me. For one thing, smoking cigarettes was obviously burning a huge, massive hole in my pocket. Buying up 2 packs a day, pretty much. And when I switched to vaping, the number one big thing that I realized was that this is more expensive than smoking. I mean, at the time, 30 mils, 15 mil bottles were going for $15, $20, $25 each. So when I started my company, Plume Juice, I wanted to give as much juice as possible for a little amount as possible without taking away any of the benefits to the other companies or what it was. I wanted to offer still a good, clean juice that was quote unquote premium, I guess you could say, at a discounted price. Because I mean, who has enough money to spend $20 every day or every other day for a 15 or 30 ml bottle of juice? A lot of companies now are offering 60 mils. A lot of companies now are offering 100 mils. A lot of companies now are offering 120 mils, which is smart on their part. Here at Plume Juice, we were probably one of the first companies that came out with a bottle that was larger than 100 mils. A lot of companies were doing 60 mils was the biggest at the time, and 100 mils I believe a lot of companies were doing, and we started doing the 120 mils. We have 35 flavors. But to go back to how I stopped smoking, it was hard at first, but the main thing for me was that I had to vape nonstop. I had to vape all day, every day. If I was to give a vape to somebody right now and say, "Here you go. Here's one vape. Use it as normally as you were smoking a cigarette," it's probably not going to work. You have to really puff, 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 vape, vape, vape to get off of that habit of lighting up the cigarette, putting the cigarette to your mouth. So after about 2 or 3 weeks, I noticed that my cravings for grabbing a cigarette and lighting it up have changed, and I started to reach for my vape. I vape menthols, but anything with menthol. So that could be, one fruit, two fruits, three fruits mixed with menthol. And to this day, 5 years later, I still vape everything with menthol. It's just what I am accustomed to. But I mean, my company, as far as all the other companies, they make long list of flavors, anything you can want, from dessert flavors to cereal flavors to candy flavors, fruit flavors, and your own mixtures and whatever else. But when you're just starting to wing off of cigarettes and try to start vaping, you need to use that vape religiously. Not religiously to where you're walking around with it inside of your mouth 24 hours a day, but if you smoke 10 cigarettes a day, 15 cigarettes a day, you're probably going to want to use your vape 20, 25 times a day for the initial period of 1 week, 2 weeks, just so you can wean off of the cigarettes and get that habit of trying to grab a cigarette and kind of move past that. Once you move past that, then you taper down on your nicotine, obviously, and the whole goal, obviously, is to get to zero milligrams of nicotine. Um, but try it out. Go to your local store or your local website, pick up a electronic cigarette, pick up a bottle of juice. Again, my website is vapecaviar.com or shopplumejuice.com. I'm going to go ahead and leave those links down in the description below. But let me know your stories in the comments. I want to know how you stopped smoking and what helped you when you transitioned from cigarettes to vape. Peace out.